Congratulations.
Congrats.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Yay to 300 episodes.
Well, hello there, Game On Girlfriend family. It's Sarah Walton here, and I am trying so hard to play it cool. But welcome to the 300th episode of the Game On Girlfriend podcast. I am like jumping through my skin with what you guys have done. Episode by episode, question by question, topic by topic. You guys have shown up with full hearts, full mugs of coffee, and so many great insights, aha moments, questions, and just this incredible family of human beings who are out to make the world a better place. In delivering these 300 episodes over the last 5 years, which I cannot believe, we have had our first male guest. Love you, Doctor. So good. Right? We've had incredible conversations about money, about what it means to run a business, what it means to actually have courage, the dying idea of the solopreneur, and the birth of community and sharing our dreams and really moving forward as extraordinary human beings, taking on challenge after challenge and facing each courageous step that comes next and finding that little ounce of courage to keep going when things get hard. And, inside the 300th episode, I thought it would be cool to flip the script just a little bit and talk about you. I know. And your dreams in progress. Not necessarily the brilliant wisdom that all of our guests have shared with us over these years, but what's important to you? What dream do you want to see happen? I mean, the 300 episodes, you guys, this is such a dream in progress for me. And you guys have helped make that real, right? It's like unbelievable. And I will be honest with you. There were moments where I thought, if I skip this week, no one will notice. There were so many times it was like, I don't really have to be consistent, do I? And those little nudges, the moments when we choose to keep going, to take the next step when it wasn't perfect, when it didn't land exactly the way we thought, or we weren't sure it was going to work the way we'd envisioned, that's where all of your power lies. And so in the 300th episode of the Game On Girlfriend podcast, we're going to dive into your dreams in progress, how you can continue to make them work, and a huge, huge thank you. You've made this accomplishment. You've helped create this milestone. And all of us here at Team Sarah are so grateful to you, and we're so excited to help you achieve all of your dreams in progress as well. So pop in those earphones and let's get to it.
Okay, of course, Game On Girlfriend is at 300 episodes. Congrats, Sarah Walton. Yes! And congrats to an audience who has benefited for a very long time now. It is not surprising to me, Sarah, knowing you and the way you are consistent, the way you produce nothing that isn't high quality. You provide real, tangible benefits to people, both as a coach and as a podcaster. To be an honored guest in episode 283, where we talked all things communication, I loved it, and I love who you are, and thank you for bringing this. Abundance and mindset are inextricably linked, and we have agency over all of it, and you coach that, and you bring it forward in your podcast with so much useful stuff. I'm really proud of you. Congrats.
Sarah, oh my gosh, congratulations on 300 episodes. That's so amazing. One of the things that I learned from you, the importance of setting a priority, not priorities, just one thing to focus on, and breaking it down into measurable amounts of time. So like one priority, one a week, set it on Monday, report back on Friday. Did you get it done? Thank you for that. You are like the perfect mix of data and woo. So I love that about you. Keep doing what you're doing. You're bringing lots of joy to so many women around the world. Love you lots, and congratulations.
Congratulations, Sarah, on 300 episodes of the Game On Girlfriend podcast. I'm not surprised that you have 300 episodes, because when you do anything, you do it with your whole heart and you are all in. But 300 episodes is an incredible accomplishment, and I'm so honored to be part of it, both as a guest and, of course, listening all the time. What I loved most about being on the show was Sarah gets to the story behind the story. I mean, she's obviously an amazing interviewer and a great storyteller, but she wants to know the real, like what's happening behind the scenes of the story that you're telling. And I just love that about her because Sarah is so deep and she will not settle for anything being surface level. It's all soul deep. And that is what makes the Game On Girlfriend podcast so special. Congratulations, Sarah. 300 episodes is an enormous accomplishment. I'm so proud to be your friend and to have been part of these first 300 episodes. And here's to 300 more.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Crochet, and I'm a nervous system coach and yoga teacher. I recorded episode 263 with Sarah, which was about how the nervous system shapes our money habits. And I remember from the moment we started talking and just seeing Sarah's face and hearing her voice, I felt so safe and so at ease and just very calm throughout the whole process. Sarah has such a big heart and such a big mind. She's so curious and she always asks the right questions. And I just loved the whole experience. Thank you, Sarah, for having me on your podcast. It's so easy to be in your presence, and yay to 300 episodes.
Sarah Walton, 300 episodes. OMG, congratulations. I'm so celebrating you. Sarah Walton is just a burst of energy. She is so sunshiny. She has such a unique way of putting things that makes you want to hold on to her every word and listen from her. Yes, she is sharing new and unique information, but she does it in such a fun, entertaining way. You just don't want to stop listening to her. Plus, she's the best interviewer. She makes you feel so seen, so safe. It's just like two girls having the best chat ever, but learning so much at the same time. What's better than that? Having fun and learning? Nothing. The Game On Girlfriend podcast is one of the best that's out there, and I'm just so thrilled for you and your entire audience, Sarah.
Hi there, my name is Kim Rogney, and I am a certified high performance coach and the founder of For the Love Of. We're a personal and professional development company. And I had the absolute pleasure of being interviewed by the amazing Sarah on episode 280. Being interviewed with Sarah, it's like she really is your girlfriend. You're having a cup of coffee. We did not even know each other. That was the first time we met. We hit record, and it was like we were already besties from the second we started. I mean, she totally has the ability to sit back, listen, and give you a space where you feel like you're being seen and heard. I mean, I just love that about her. If I could sum up my experience with Sarah in 3 words: 1, empowering; 2, authentic. Like, we're not messing around. We're not sugarcoating it. This is real life here. And 3, uplifting. So if you are listening to this right now and you are considering listening to a new podcast, this is the one for you. You really are empowering women to be their very best and choose their life and do it without guilt. And I just want to thank you for all your hard work, and it does not go unnoticed. Congratulations, and I'm truly honored to now call you one of my girlfriends.
All right, how awesome are people? Like, isn't it amazing how much we cannot do by ourselves? I don't know. I consider myself an eagle. I don't know if you've ever heard this talked about before. This actually comes from my therapist, whom I love and adore. And if you'd like her number, let me know. I will point you in her direction. She's incredible. But she came up with this concept of eagles, right? People who love to fly alone. Right. Most of humanity is more like pigeons, right? There's always a group. There's always a huddle. There's always somewhere you're supposed to be together, right? Like, this is what everybody's doing. And I try so hard to live that way. Does not occur naturally for me. I'm much more of an eagle. I'll fly by myself and land when I land. And like, oh, look, there are people. Oh, right. More people. I love people. That's right. I forget I love people. That's me. I'm an eagle. So reaching a milestone of 300 is not something I could do alone. And it's so strange, but I'm going to be totally honest with you. It blows my mind every time. It's like, Sarah Walton, are you ever going to learn you cannot do things alone? Yeah, I cannot. That's not a thing. But I always want to underscore that and really be honest with all of you guys about this, because we all bump up against something. We all have dreams, and then we bump up against what holds us back as we go to pursue those dreams. That's kind of the way life is designed. That's how we grow. That's how we succeed. It's how we expand ourselves, as we bump up against the immediate challenges that arise when we start chasing what we've been divinely given as desires. Because as you know, I fully believe if you have a desire, it's yours to fulfill, right? For some people, they want a Lamborghini. Couldn't care less. Don't care. I don't care. You may not care about that, or it might be the number one thing on your list. I don't know. But it's yours if you have it, right? Other people, it's a house on the beach. That's all they can think about. Someone else, it's a purse, right? Someone else, it's shoes. Someone else, it's a family vacation that they can't stop thinking about, right? Everybody has different desires because they're ours to fulfill. Now, when I would line up my stuffed animals, ages, 3 to 25, I would line up my stuffed animals and teach them. I always wanted to be a teacher. I always wanted to talk. I would, yes, hold up my shampoo bottle as an Oscar. I know, it's a true story. I remember my little house in Provo, Utah. Oh yeah, it's a true story. I could even tell you what it smelled like, but I would hold up the shampoo bottle in the mirror and say, "Thank you so much." So clearly the desire to teach and be in front of a microphone and camera has always been in yours truly over here. And I'm sharing this because I want you to remember what yours are too. Dreams in progress are so important. And let's qualify what that means. Yeah. What the heck is a dream in progress? A dream in progress is any dream you have that is not yet fulfilled. I know, right? It's literally that simple. And you know what they are. The one that you just thought of, that's actually the one. You're like, no, it's not. No, it's not. That's definitely the one, right? When you get nervous or scared or freaked out, that's for sure the dream that is currently in progress. And you're just kind of hiding from it, right? You sort of step back and hide. And I touched on this in the intro for this 300th episode. And how many times before we were doing this as a video version of the podcast, it was just me with my phone, right, in the basement where there were good acoustics, recording over and over and over those first, I would say, dozens of episodes where it's like, did I get it right? Did I get it right? Did I get it right? And then there would be weeks where it's like, the listenership is still so small. I could skip a week. And there would be this little voice in the back of my head that was like, Sarah Walton, you know that consistency will outperform perfectionism every time. Go record. And I would. And I'm very proud to say that 5 years later, we've never missed a week. Can you stand it? During Black Lives Matter and the pandemic, there was 1 week where I did pause intentionally and I left a recording saying, go find someone of color to support. There's so many beautiful women of color running businesses. Go support them. So even though I did not record an episode that week, there was an episode. I just encouraged you to go support other people too. But that's it. Other than that, we have been on every single week producing for you to create beautiful content for you. And it can't be possible without you. You've shown up. You've shown up. You've done this. And this is a celebration of you and your own consistency and your own dreams in progress as well. So let's talk about your dream, the one that you just didn't want to think about. Yeah, that you're like, nuh-uh, Walton, nuh-uh, that's the one, right? We're going to talk about that. And let's look at, for you, those moments when you're like, this is stupid. I want to stop. Right? It could be that you have a timeline set. You know what's coming. You know that there's something you want to get out, right? But you're kind of stalling. If that is the case, I'm going to tell you to do something most coaches will not tell you to do. And that is stop for a few minutes. Just stop when that panic hits, that I just don't want to. For me, it was those moments. I don't want to go downstairs and record the next episode, right? You just have those moments because we're human, right? We forget why we're doing things. So stop and remember why. And I'll tell you when I didn't want to, when I wanted to skip, when I wanted to see if anyone would notice, right? Those things we all do because we're all people, right? It would be a reminder, not only does consistency outperform perfectionism every freaking time, but it wasn't for me. I know that sounds like, oh, it wasn't for me. No, but really, a lot of these recordings, right? I love to coach. And I know that there are people who will never be able to hire me for whatever reason. We're on a different time zone. They don't believe in paying coach, whatever. I don't know. But that doesn't mean they don't deserve to be coached by me through the podcast. And that would be the reason I got up and recorded. was because it wasn't about me and what I felt like in that moment. It was about the gifts the universe gave me, the ability to speak off the cuff, the love of teaching, the deep, deep study of psychology, right? And wanting to help people move past blocks and barriers, and to, of course, put more money in the hands of more women. And that meant I'd have to break through the I don't feel like it right now to go downstairs and put someone else first and continue to record and remain consistent. So for you, I want you to do the same thing. What are those moments? What happens to you? Is it like you run off and play Netflix? Is it your family needed you more than you thought they did this week? So it's kind of knocked you off your schedule. So you're just going to give up this week. Like, what's happening for you? What are those moments? And in them, pause, give yourself a little bit of grace, right? We're so over the hustle culture. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about keeping your agreement with your skills, your talents, your gifts, your desires, and your expertise, and allowing that connection to your greatness to be bigger than the current moment. And in order for that to happen, you have to be in the current moment. And that means you have to tell the truth about the fact that you like to stop for a hot freaking second. Can I just put my feet up for a second? Of course you can. Of course you can. And then comes in the self-trust where you know, even with that pause, you're going to take the next step because it's you. And you always show up and take the next step. And I'll tell you, inside the Abundance Academy, that is something that we work on constantly. You want to talk about consistency? You want to talk about 300 freaking episodes? Inside the Abundance Academy, it's about showing up every single week when you don't feel like it, when you need to do your hair at the same time. We have people putting on makeup, getting ready for interviews, doing their thing, but they show up. Why? Because that's where you grow. And you grow even more when you show up and remember your why, even when you don't feel like it. That's where a lot of the magic is. So thinking of your dream in progress, plan now. For the moments you're going to want to stop, give yourself a little bit of grace, and let's write down right now, what is your why? Like for me, I look at the world right now. I look at what's happening politically. I look at the corruption being exposed. I look at the human beings not having access to basic necessities. And I'm like, please, let's get more money in the hands of more women, right? Don't you think it's time? I mean, come on. I think it's our turn to decide where this money starts flowing. Yeah, let's freaking go. Talk about game on. That's my why. And it gets bigger every freaking day. And that will get me through any block that comes up. I don't care about looking good. I don't care what anybody says. I'm freaking going. Like, this is not a stoppable thing. And when you tap into that, all of a sudden the don't want us, don't feel like it, crazy schedules, oh my goodness, that starts to take a back seat to the importance of your commitment to you and what you're here to do. All right. So the next thing, when we're looking at consistency, we're looking at huge milestones and your dream in progress. Let's focus on the steps you can take right now. Now, this sounds very like going back to basics, and it is, but you guys, they're the basics because they work. Right? So I want you to look at in those moments when you're tough, you're like, this dream cannot possibly happen. Yeah. What step can you take right now? And, you know, I love my girl, Taylor Swift. Sorry. She's probably going to be like talked about in every episode. It's just the way it is. So I don't know if you've ever seen the recordings of her and her very, very first performances. It's adorable. It's like it was taken out in the school paper, like $5 to show up to see Taylor Swift play in the gymnasium. Like literally, that's a step she could take right then. She was pitchy. She was already doing the walk, you know, the walk. She was already doing that, but she was pitchy. She was young. Her hair was all frizzy and huge, right? But she was taking the steps she could take now. And without having taken those steps, you can't end up at a 1.5 year long tour where you write about the tour and then perform that during the same tour with stadiums upwards of 90,000 human beings at a time. You can't get there. That's a dream in progress, right? And there's probably more we don't even know about. That woman does not stop, right? There's just more we don't even conceive of yet, yeah? But when you're starting and you're in the gymnasium practicing the walk and your microphone goes in and out and you're still a little pitchy and your hair's frizzy, that's still the step you can take right now. And I want you to go back, if you are so inclined, head on over to YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, wait till you're done watching this video. But notice some of my first videos. You guys, there's one where I'm like freaking purple because I couldn't get the aperture right on the dang camera. I just couldn't figure it out, right? I don't care, right? That is part of the journey. That was the step I could take then, was like, listen, I had this idea. I had this inspiration. It was time for a podcast episode. I had to record it. I did. Is it perfect? No. Do I look at it sometimes and cringe? Yeah, I do. I do because I'm a person. But you know what? It's out there. And the message from my heart to yours was still there. And it was still sincere and it was still real. And that's the same for you. It's the same for Taylor, right? We start where we can start and we take the steps we can take today. I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again. Who do you think gets closer to their dreams? Right? Let's say you do want to do video. Yeah. So who's going to get better at doing video faster? The person who researches a camera for 6 months, studies different lighting, thinks about it, outlines some stuff, and then, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do this. And then they study some more, right? Is that person going to be faster at getting really good? Or is the person who turns on their phone and starts talking and posting going to get really good? 6 months down the line, who's going to be further along? It's the person taking the steps they can take right now and then perfecting along the way. That is the only way to succeed at anything. So whatever your dream is in progress, go find that video of Taylor. It's scary. I love you, Taylor. Right. But it's like, oh my goodness, boy, was she just starting out. Right. Oh my gosh. But of course she was. What, is she supposed to be at a stadium filled with 125,000 people in Australia when she's 13 years old? I don't think so. We all start where we start. And I want you to be aware of something as you do that. The biggest fear you'll face is what other people think and a fear that you'll be seen starting too small. And that is where true abundance comes in. And that's exactly what we talk about inside the Abundance Academy. So I want you to go check that out. If you're in that space and you're like, nah, notice the abundance around you. Notice what can happen and notice how many people are in the same spot you're in, taking the exact next step that they can take right now. All right. So the next thing that you can do, if you're like, I want to stop, you have a dream in progress, is to borrow belief from someone else. What? Yeah. Confidence is borrowable. Did you know that? Yeah. I believe in you. So what you could do is just literally put this episode on repeat. Just be like, hi, I'm Sarah Walton. I believe in you. Yeah. How can I say that? You're like, Walton, you don't even freaking know who I am. You know how I can say that? One, because it's true. Two, here's some evidence. Yeah. How many able-bodied babies learn how to walk? Do you know? If a baby's body has the ability to walk, how many of those babies learn how to walk? You know what the stat is? Of course you do. It's 100%. 100% of able-bodied babies learn how to walk. True, right? Do they fall down a lot? Yeah. You know the difference between a baby and us? They don't have language yet. So they can't say things like, oh my God, I suck. I'm so stupid. Susie learned how to walk 2 months ago. I'm never going to get this. I'm a loser. I should just quit. That's why babies learn how to walk, because they don't have that internal dialogue yet. Isn't that wild? Yeah. Language, so powerful, but it also traps thoughts in our heads, right? They just do. They get stuck in there, and we replay them over and over and over. And that's what's happening when you decide you want to stop. So borrow my confidence in you. Borrow my belief in you. Just borrow it for a little bit. I know you can do it. How? Because 100% of babies who are able to walk learn how to walk. And you know what? 100% of humans who have a desire have the ability to achieve the desire. They just have language in their head that tells them otherwise, but it's just language. It's just thoughts. That's why taking step 2, taking the step you can take now, is so important, because it starts to build on that confidence. It starts to build on that belief system that, oh, wait, I can do this. It might take a little bit of time because I'm not like magic, but I can do it. Watch this, I'll take the next step. Watch this, I'll take the next step. And until that happens, until you really start to believe that yourself, borrow my belief in you. The things I have seen human beings do, the things you've seen human beings do. I mean, come on. You know it's true. And you also know deep down, you would not have been given the desire if you did not have the internal power to achieve it. That's just true. Do you have to learn something? Probably. Yeah, I had to learn how to not make my camera purple. I figured it out. I think I look better now than I did then, but that's okay. Who cares? The message is still there, right? But I learned how. Are there things you're going to have to learn? Yeah, sure. Does that mean you can't do it? No. Did you learn how to talk? Did you learn math? Did you learn freaking decimals? I mean, what's with decimals anyway? But you learned them, didn't you? You did. Of course you did, because you are capable of doing so. And in those moments when that falters, when the lies that you told yourself as a child start to like gain traction in your brain, borrow my belief in you. Replay this episode. Know that you've got what it takes to fulfill on the desires you have. Your dream in progress is in progress. Keep going. Now, the other thing I want you to do when you have those moments of like, I can't, this is the opposite of hustle culture. And as I said, in step one, like take a minute, like just sort of feel into the exhaustion. This step is about resting. So, when I was first a coachy coach, when I first started out, it was so super cool to talk about how little one slept. Do you remember this phase? Dear God, what was wrong with us? But there was this phase of like, I only sleep for 3 hours. I only sleep for 4. I'm so cool. Oh my God. I use all my time to be productive. Meanwhile, we're like walking into walls, living off of caffeine and having heart palpitations most of the day, right? But it's fine because we're productive. Yet no. We are now way beyond that. And now we understand that we actually would have been a hell of a lot more productive if we'd actually been sleeping for 8 hours a night and eating really, really well and using our bodies the way they're meant to be used to lift heavy things, to walk longer distances, to breathe, to laugh, to enjoy, to connect, and then gone and been productive in work. And so this step, this is your official invitation to freaking rest, breathe, sit in the sunshine, even if it's just for 5 minutes. And when I say rest, I mean rest. Please put your stupid weapon of mass distraction down for a hot second, would you? Just breathe. Be a person. Remember, you are part of nature. Go out and look at the leaves, look at the grass, look at the flowers, look at the sky, the animals. Breathe. You are an organic being on this planet. And there is not an organic being on this planet that does not need rest. Every organic being, entity on this planet has a rest cycle. And you do too. And we want to pretend that we're above nature, that we're so good. Nope. All that does is give an opportunity for disease to take hold, for panic to seep in, for anxiety to get worse, and for your higher self to remain elusive. The access to the best parts of you, to the wisest, smartest, most inspiring parts of your soul come through nature. They come through your breath. Your breath is access to peace. Breathe, rest, remember who you are. And when you feel replenished, you come back and you continue to work on your dream in progress. All right. And finally, as you are chasing your dreams, you're working on your dream in progress and you are like, oh my gosh, Sarah's using her 300th episode to keep us all consistent. You bet your assets I am. All right. So the last thing is here. I want you to say your fears out loud. Just say them out loud. Secrecy breeds shame, and shame is so dangerous. It's really a doorway, shame, to, I want to say, dangerous activity, right? It's the rage we see. Sometimes you'll see it on the roads, right? We call it road rage for a reason, right? But shame is actually rooted in rage, right? And rage being the combination of anger and shame. And when we feel shame, we tend to get angry, right? We're mostly angry at ourselves, right? For either not saying our fears out loud or not making progress when we have a dream in progress. And then that becomes internalized. And our beautiful, delicate psyches, right? These souls that are here to love and enjoy and share just get bombarded with that shame. And so instead of turning that inward, that anger inward, right? We really want to give it a name and say it out loud. Because as soon as we share it in community, do you know what happens? We see this in the Abundance Academy all the time. Someone's like, no, I'm so embarrassed. I hate myself. I did da-da-da-da-da-da. I'll say, stop for a second. How many of you have ever felt this? Every single hand goes up every single time. But the secrecy allows it to fester, right? This idea there's something wrong with me. It's so easy for Sarah to have a dream in progress, but I cannot, like that secrecy, that walling off, right? That hiding, that abandoning of self by turning to community, that really turns into shame and festers. And the danger there is that is what turns into rage, right? We couple that shame with the anger and now we've got danger, right? And we've got, all of the things we see in our society that are so literally physiologically dangerous to other people. So we really want to be responsible for that, yeah? and responsible for your dreams. You have them because they're yours, responsible for what you need to learn to cause them to happen, and then responsible for the emotions that come up as you are as expanding as a human to hold this dream. And that's what's happening as you bump up against limiting beliefs, you bump up against doubt and blocks and other people's personalities or the cancel culture, whatever the heck is worrying you in the moment, right? You're being called to expand, to be able to hold that so the dream can come forward, right? And in order to do that, you have to have community. It's not possible without community, even if it's just your best friend, where you give this fear a name. I'm scared this isn't going to be received in the way that I mean it. Say that. How many times can you be mad at somebody who's like, there's something I really want to share with you, but I'm so scared it's going to come out wrong? What did they just do? They just made sure that no matter how they say it, it's not going to come out wrong because you're now, you're like, oh my God, I've had that feeling. I know that thing. Talk to me. We'll work through it. We'll figure it out together. Right? I mean, isn't that what happens? If you get on stage, like let's say you're about to give a TED talk, right? You're about to do something huge. You get, oh my God, I'm so nervous. What happens? Immediately you're not nervous and the audience is 100% on your side. We thrive in community. We thrive in truth telling. We thrive when we give it a name. When we say the fears out loud, they lose their power over us. Shame starts to dissipate and power to move forward becomes yours. And it becomes yours not only internally, but through the entire community that wants to support you. So as we wrap up this 300th episode and you're looking at your own dreams in progress, one, this is your personal invitation. Episode 300 is your invitation to come and join me. Come, let me be your coach. Come be in community with us. We are having the best time. Come on into the Abundance Academy. If you really want to talk to me about being your one-on-one coach and it's just you and me, we can do that as well. All of the information is underneath this video if you're watching on YouTube, or it's in the show notes if you're listening in. You're hearing this right now. Your dream in progress is calling to you right now. That's why you're listening to this episode. That's why you're watching me here on YouTube, is because it is your time. You know, this is the moment that you've been like, I just kind of want a sign to know when it's time. This is it. And I know that, or you wouldn't be watching. You wouldn't be listening. I just know, right? How many of my episodes have you missed? But you didn't miss this one. And that's because it is your time to pursue that dream in progress. So listen, congratulations to all of you who listen, all of you who've been here. You guys, we've done it. 300 episodes are in the bank. They are out there in the world doing what they're here to do because of you. Again, I'll remind you, this is your huge celebration as much as it is for all of us here at Team Sarah. You show up, you open your hearts, you have been coachable. You've asked incredible questions. To every single one of our guests, we love you. Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom with the girlfriends that we love so much in this world. And here's to your dream in progress. May it continue for you. May you borrow as much confidence from me as you need. And I will see you in the next episode. Congratulations.